with Kung Fu Eddie. He will fight you to the death.
What's up, everybody? This is Kung Fu Eddy, baby, representing the Big Propaganda Wrestling Podcast and talking to Eddy, baby. And I'm here, so excited to introduce you to my very special guest. But before I do that, please acknowledge us, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. You know, put that notification bell button. Don't forget, this is the Big Propaganda Wrestling Podcast Network. It's on Apple, Spotify, those two networks. And also, I have my own thing. It is Talking to Eddy, Baby. Kung Fu Eddy, Baby. BAYBEE, except for Twitter, because they have a character limit. So it's only one E. With that being said, got to do my hot hands, because I am with the hottest man alive, Mr. Gino, Medina, baby. What's up, my friend?
How you doing, homie?
El Intocable, man. You see, I didn't even pronounce that correctly.
Intocable.
Yeah, the Latin heartthrob. Man, how you been, brother?
I'm doing well, bro. Thanks for having me here, man.
Dude, I am so excited to having you because I've been knowing you for so long. You want to know how long I've been knowing this man? He already saw it, so he kind of ruined the surprise.
Trying to hide it from me, huh? Ooh, man.
This is how long I've been knowing this.
Yeah,
man.
I was.
He was such a baby.
I was what?
That was in 2012.
I was about 16, 17, man.
Yeah, so so it was child labor. Beautiful.
Yeah, man.
So the first time I met you was at Traders Village, 2012.
Okay.
It was for TSA.
Texas All-Star. Shout out to Bob Murphy.
Yeah, man. Bob, hopefully you're doing well.
All right.
How did you get started? What was your first initial introduction to wrestling?
I mean, it's a lot of people know, like, I basically grew up in wrestling. Like, I was literally in locker rooms when I was a baby.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, like, a lot of luchadors would take care of me. Like,
and it was your dad, right?
Yeah, my dad, Sanguinario. Máscara Maligna, La Calaca. He basically, like, literally, as a baby, took me to the locker rooms and, like, he would have other wrestlers take care of me, like, while he was out. Like, yeah.
Be like, hey, brother, can you take care of mi niño? Necesita que lo cuide, po, porque,
Pretty much, yeah.
It's my turn.
Yeah, man. Like, and, like, as a kid, I was just mesmerized by, like, these, like, real life superheroes fighting and, like, flying all over the place with masks, capes, and all this stuff. And to me, I was hooked, man. As a little 4-year-old, man, I was hooked in that. I was like, this is literally what I want to do, And ever since then, like, I haven't looked back. That's all I've been pursuing my whole life, man. I'm 28 right now, so I told you earlier.
He's still a baby.
But I mean, I started training at 14. So at 6 years
You're
old,
technically a 10-year veteran, and everybody who says that once you pass that 10 year, you're technically a veteran.
Yeah, man.
But you started so young, so you still have like that energy, that eager. Definitely. Even though we will talk about one of your injuries, but you still have that passion, that just the joy of a child. And that's when something that when you see that as a real person, because again, we've been talking before the camera started for like almost an hour, and I'm over here like, is this the same man that I met at the Traders Village?
Yeah, man. I mean, I love wrestling, man. And like, there's a lot of people that get bitter towards it and whatnot, but for me, like, I just like, I try to be a very positive person as well. So like, for me, I'm just enjoying the ride, man. There's a lot of people that like will look forward to like, oh, I want to make it to this, and they're just miserable until like they get there. You know what I mean? But like, you gotta enjoy this journey. You gotta enjoy the journey of being like an independent wrestler, and like, learning from that and whatnot. Like, taking all these experiences in, all these like traveling and whatnot, like seeing all these different places that you go to. Like, to me, that's the cool part. Like, I like that. I like being on the road, like driving somewhere at a Buc-ee's.
Like, yo, shout out to Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's, if you're watching this, please like and subscribe.
And sponsoring.
Please sponsor. I will wear your shirts, everything.
Hey, same here. But yeah, man, to me, that's like the cool part. Like, those road trips and whatnot, like getting to like get close to like other wrestlers and like, learning about them and whatnot. But yeah, man, like I pretty much like I told this to somebody once. I was like, I never started wrestling. Wrestling started me, man. Like, literally.
That's crazy because like you hear, especially with like the Mexican wrestlers, is that like, oh, I mean, the infamous quote is from Eddie Guerrero, like he do a drop kick out of his mom's wound when his mom gave birth.
Man, yeah.
So I feel like it's the same story with you because it is part of your culture.
Yeah.
I mean, it is your identity. So with that being said, like because of your father being in wrestling, did you feel like that you had to live up to his legacy?
Not necessarily. Like I felt like, to me, I wasn't trying to live up to his legacy. I was trying to continue his legacy. You know, because he did pass away very young. He was only 32.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. to my father. And so I feel like he still had like a lot that he had to like accomplish. You know,
Because he was like almost like a freelance. I don't know
no,
the proper way.
He was working for AAA when.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
when he passed away, he was still working for AAA. So so after that happened, like I feel like he was barely getting, like he was tapping into that prime, you know, of his career.
And that's always like the what if question. It's like
Yeah.
like how much could have your dad would have succeeded? Because
Yeah.
it was during that era. Like again, like if I had to put the timelines together, it's during the timeline where WCW was knocking at Triple A's door. It
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
hey man, we need some
Yeah.
of your wrestlers.
Yeah, man.
Your dad could have been in WCW.
Yeah, man,
Could
'cause
have been in that era.
Yeah, because he wrestled all those guys. You know, he wrestled Ray before. He wrestled like the Guerreros before. I randomly found a match once where it was like my dad, you know, and like Eddy were in the ring, and I was like, what? Like this is insane, you know. And then there's a match where it's like him versus Chavo Guerrero Senior, right? Then I wrestled Chavo Guerrero Junior.
Yo, that is
Yeah.
adorable. I'm
Right?
gonna be like, I'm sorry for the weird word, but that's definitely adorable. You know, you got dad versus dad, now junior versus junior.
Hey man, same thing happened with El Santo. He wrestled El Santo, but I believe he might have wrestled his dad. But then I wrestled El Hijo del Santo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, damn, like feel like same thing with Juventud Guerrero. Like I got to do something with Juventud Guerrero.
With the juice.
Yeah, with the juice, man. And he got to wrestle his dad. So like to me, it's just kind of like it's like a very parallel, like, you know, journey that I'm following him in. It's not even on purpose either. It's just like
Destiny. It's
stuff
like
just
legit.
happens, man. Yeah, man. And like my whole journey is so weird, man, because like I feel like I can make like a movie or a book out of this once, bro. Because like even my trainer, shout out to my trainer. His name is Monje Negro.
El Monje
That's my
Negro.
original trainer, man. Monje Negro dos. And basically he was my dad's friend. And they would wrestle a lot in Monterrey, and they had like a whole little feud and whatnot. And like they had a lot of good matches and like a long like program together. And then like 10 years later, I find them here in Houston. Like
that if that's not a knock on Destiny's door,
Right.
I don't know what is.
right, man, that's what I'm thinking. And I'm like, and I just see it as like, oh, like, you know, my dad passed away, but then like a guy that had the same knowledge as him found me, and now he's training me, you know. And in a way, like I'm getting a lot of my dad's knowledge as well, you know, because they come from the same, like, you know, era and like school of people. So like to me, it's just pretty cool, like being able to train with that guy and then learning from him, like at a very young age. I was 14, man. I was 14, and this guy was out here like putting me through it, man. And I never like complained or anything. I knew how tough wrestling was, and I wanted it. Even to this day, like I want to feel like, you know, I want to be pushed, you know. I want to get better, you know, and it's constantly that. I feel like somebody asked me like a couple days ago, they were like, what's your goal in wrestling? I'm like, I don't have like a set, like, you know, like bullet points on where I want to get to.
Yeah.
I just work hard, and I just let stuff like happen, you know, stuff just falls in my lap. Like I just work and like hustle and like have a good attitude, you know, stay close to God, man. And stuff just happens,
that's the
man.
most important part.
Yeah,
is
man.
Having that faith to make sure to because shout out to Chris Van Vliet. He had Eric Young, and Eric Young was talking about like he was in the WWE, and obviously if you want to mention Mr. McMahon, you know, all that good stuff. He said he couldn't work with him because of how deep his religion is and all the whispers and all the knowledge that we saw from the documentary, allegedly. And I feel like that you got to have that faith in order for you to balance yourself, because I mean you're a testimony to any other wrestler. Like it is a tough business.
Yeah.
You know, I tried it. I went to Booker T's fantasy camp and I did the bumps. I was like, cool, whatever, you know, because I did some jiu-jitsu. But then I was just like, do I see myself on the road 300 days and all that good stuff? And I was like, yeah, nah, I'll go get this education.
Yeah. And the thing people don't think about is that, like, you'll take the bumps, and those bumps add up, right? And then your back is super stiff, and your neck and your joints and everything. And then you got to sit in the car for like 4 or 5 hours, and you gotta sit on a flight for 2 hours, man. And that's the worst part, at least for me. Like before I took my break, man, I couldn't sit in the car for more than like an hour because my back would go numb, man.
Dude.
That's how bad it was.
And
you
like
know?
we're big fans of Dragon Ball Z. You just want to teleport thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's literally what I wanted, man.
No, and especially you, like, you know, like you're a tall, like, you know, buff dude. And I'm over here like a short big boy. Like it'll be the same problem.
Yeah,
like
no,
I can't like my elbow space. I went to go see Joker last night and like the movie theater had like these narrow seats and I'm over here like, hey baby, I'm gonna put my arm around you. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, I feel bad for the other guy over here.
Get us more space.
Right?
Yeah.
So again, like people don't think of that stuff. They don't think about, they just see the lights. They just see the glory. They just see the money. They just see the merchandise, but they don't see like, lack of a better word, dark side of the ring. Like they they don't see like the closed doors of what you have to go through, like mentally, emotionally, you know, physically we see it. But nobody knows because again, part of the documentary of Vince McMahon is that one of the guys said that once a wrestler passes away, in people's head, they think of it as like TV characters. Just go away, but they don't think about, no, that was a real person.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and it's literally like what you guys see is the tip of the iceberg, bro. Because like,
and that's all I want to see. I just want to see the tip. Pause.
You're right. Because you don't see all this like, you know, long nights and like, you know, all the stuff that we have to sacrifice and whatnot. And to a degree, like for me at least, like when like sacrifices don't feel like that to me, because like I like love wrestling, you know.
And that's the part that like I had to ask that question for myself. Do I really like this as a fan, or do I like this as like part of a wrestler? And I'm like, no, I like it as a fan. I'm good.
And that's good, man. And it's good that you like think about it that way, because there's a lot of people that do get into it and they're like, oh, this is gonna be easy, and it's like, nah, man, this is hard, man. And like, at least for me, like I respect wrestling so much, man. Like wrestling is like my life. So anybody that comes in, like, I'll try to test you. You know, we're training.
Definitely do not want to get tested by Gino Medina.
We're training. Hey,
I shook this hand, and according to the little rumor is that if your handshake is soft, that means you're good worker, brother.
Nah, man. But like, I feel like that's just in my, like, it's literally in my blood, because, you know, like, even hearing stories about my dad, like in Mexico, in Monterrey, the way it was like from 6 to 7, that's where like the newer guys would train, and then from 7 to 8, that's where like the experienced guys would come in and like, you know, and like kind of like plan their matches and whatnot, right? So once the trainee guys will try to stick around for like the experienced guys to wrestle, my dad will kick them out.
Wow.
He will go like check if anybody were like still there. He'll kick them out, because like he was protecting the business, because he's like, hey, like you guys are coming,
especially during those times.
Yeah, man, and they'll see their faces too. That's like another big one too. Like you could not see a luchador's face, you know, because
that's crazy.
Yeah. Even to this day though, like some luchadors wear their masks the whole time.
No, there's this one story that Conan said like in one of his podcasts, which you were a part of it, which hopefully we'll get there. If not, I'll forget about it. That I think it was the owner, the female owner from AAA.
Yeah.
Like I think it was either Blue Demon or El Santo that was like trying to do his farewell goodbye.
Yeah.
During this week, like you know how like Jushin Liger did, Nori Suzuki doing it, like that farewell tour.
Yeah.
Same thing with John Cena.
Yeah.
And like he wanted to use some AAA wrestlers, but she was like, nah, that ain't for me. And then they went to a court, and then she just pointed like, how do I know that's the real El Santo? And then like the judge like made him take off his mask.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, yo, that's beef. Again, if I got the story wrong, blame Conan. Conan, I love you. Please like and subscribe. So with that being said, like what an incredible journey, what a incredible passion that you have for this business. So you started training with your dad's best friend. I forgot his name.
Monje Negro.
Monje Negro.
Yeah.
How did you started implementing the Mexican style to the American style? Because me and my friend Front Row Phil, shout out to him, he's right across the room. We were talking about how your style is more like that Mexican American, that like you have that lucha libre style, but you're still grounded into that pro wrestling, the American style.
Yeah, I think for me, like I feel like I always loved lucha, even as a kid. Like I thought it was amazing, like you know, like seeing all these like acrobatics and whatnot. But what hooked me was the storytelling, you know? Like I was like,
that's why he's in the business.
What hooked me was that storytelling, man. Like I started watching WWE, and I was like, oh, like there's more to this. It's not just about like movements and whatnot. It's like you literally have to make people feel something.
Yeah, because you when you first started talking, you were talking about how the luchadors were like superheroes.
Yeah.
They were this comic book coming to life, and now with the American style, it's more like soap opera.
Yeah, definitely.
Guys, let's admit it, okay? It's okay. It's safe. It's a safe space here.
It's a no novelas, right?
Hey, man. That's one of my questions. So like, you know, so you prefer more of the storytelling and implement that lucha style with
Yeah, definitely. And like for me, like I said, I got trained by Monte Negro first, and he taught me a lot of old school lucha libre, you know, not like not as many like high flying as like they do now. He's teaching me the old school like lucha ways, like holds and like how to get out of this, cool little arm drags and whatnot.
Like the name of the style is like como llave, right?
Llaveando.
Llaveando, there you go. I know it's like something. See.
No,
I'm not an Osavo kid, okay? I'm like intermediate.
But this whole time though that I was like training lucha, I was obsessed with CM Punk. You know, I was literally like, I just wanted to do CM Punk's moves. We were doing cool little hurricanranas, arm drags and stuff, but I was like, I want to do CM Punk's moves. You know?
I mean, what a storyteller.
Yeah, man. What's it called? So when I was doing lucha, like I knew that's like the route that I wanted to go. I'm like, okay, I still want to do like American style wrestling. So eventually I found my way down to Booker's, and this guy, Aiden Cristiano, you know.
Yo, shout out to Aiden.
Shout out to Aiden Cristiano, man, because like a lot of people don't know, but he trained me, man. He like, I give him a lot of credit for like he literally like he took me under his wing and would just take me all over Texas, literally beat my ass, you know, like he would teach me how to wrestle by beating my ass, you know? And I'm like, hey, I'll take it, man. Like, I'm learning, you know? He's one of the, like, the, you know, hardest, like, hitting guys out there.
Oh, I remember one of his matches that it was, like, very quiet, and he did a chop, and then I was just like, all right, you know what, let me go to the bathroom.
But yeah, man, like, he took me around, and he's the one that brought me into Booker's, you know? Because Booker was looking for a luchador, right?
Oh, okay.
So that's where Thunderjet came, bro. I was Thunderjet around Texas and went out for
Texas. So it wasn't for just Bob, it was for Booker T too.
Yeah. So like after that, like they needed a luchador, and I came in and I did like 1 or 2 matches, whatever, and eventually Booker hit me with the, we have to take that mask off. You're good. Yeah, there you go.
That's always like the story, especially with Eric Bischoff, because again, like even though like it is a negative thing to think about, like he was taking off everybody's luchador mask, but he had a purpose to it.
Yeah.
Even though like it was sucked the way he was doing it, but I mean, it was just one of those things that like, you know, you're a good looking guy. Like when who went to take off his mask, I'm like, dude, this guy's a supermodel. Right? Same thing with Rey Mysterio. I'm like, yo, that's a boy band guy.
Right? Yeah. Definitely. And like and literally it's just that like, you know, there's different you know, demographics of like, you know, people that watch wrestling, and I feel like people don't really connect as much to like people wearing masks, you know, at least here in the States, you know, in Mexico, you know, they love that stuff, but here it's like, you know,
I mean, the only one that made popular, we mentioned him, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
man. The only one that like in WCW he took off his mask and he had that run, but then nobody remembers it. He still covers his face, even though like he pretends the internet doesn't exist. You know what he looks like. He's still a good looking man.
Hey, but it's like it's kind of like the movies, you know, like you know how Spider-Man looks, you know, but it's not like Spider-Man.
It's not Tobey Maguire.
Andrew
Garfield.
Yeah, bro. Like
Tom Holland, my bad.
I see it the same way with Ray, man. Ray literally like I respect the hell out of Ray, man, and like especially meeting them when I was like younger. Like,
dude, that's a story right there.
That was they had told me that he might stop by for the Christmas Chaos.
Yeah, because that was in Reality Wrestling.
Yeah, man.
So that was your first time meeting him.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like when you were a kid.
Oh no, I meant
so yeah, I remember watching the clip. He handed you the championship.
Yeah, man. And to me that was surreal, man, because like I grew up watching this guy, and like to me in wrestling, like I don't believe anything until it happens. You know? Yeah,
that's a great philosophy.
Because people will tell you, "Hey, this is so and so is gonna stop by. Hey, this is gonna happen. Hey, you're like whatever," and then something doesn't happen at all. Like and like honestly, like stuff changes. You know, it's like a show. So like if stuff has to get tweaked for whatever, hey, go ahead. Right. Same thing with Ray. I'm like, hey, I haven't seen Ray. I was about to go out and wrestle. I haven't seen him yet. So I'm like, hey, maybe he's gonna come out there. Maybe he's not.
Wow.
I win the championship and the music hits.
Puyaka, puyaka.
Yeah, man. And I'm like, what? I literally like I got like one teardrop, bro. I was like, man, this
That was a sweat though, right?
yeah, right, yeah. But nah, man, that like literally like brought a lot of emotions out of me because I'm like, man, this is
I
crazy.
bet.
Yeah, I was like what, like 19ish, maybe 20, I think.
Yeah.
And like to be like staying in the rain next to Ed, or like in front of Ray, I'm like, this is crazy, man. And like I don't know, like to this day that like still pushes me, you know, to be
Dude, that's awesome, man.
yeah.
And like I met Ray when like as a fan and like just hearing him talk like, yeah, dog, what's up, dog? Like that's cool. Like, but imagine like you being a wrestler
Yeah.
and meeting that and he gave you the stamp of approval. That's
Yeah, man. Yeah. And he's like a super humble guy, man. And like, I don't know. I feel like, you know, he's still going hard too. Like he's out there still like doing everything.
stem cell research, ladies
Hey,
and
man,
gentlemen.
yeah. he's still out there like, you know, hitting everything that he was doing when he was younger. But yeah, man, Ray was you know, he's a GOAT, man.
Dude, definitely. So going continue on with reality of wrestling. I still remember your debut, not as Thunder Jet, because I honestly thought your first time in reality wrestling was as Gino.
Yeah.
But now I know you started off as Thunder Jet.
Yeah.
But you, shout out to the party girl, because her and we were sitting together and we saw you come out, and you came out with Katie Forbes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we were like, yo. This man's slanging that thing. we were like, yo, look at him. Like, hey, where's his head though? So tell me that debut, because now you went from a masked wrestler to this beautiful face we see right here. How was that transition?
Actually, it was very, very hard, you know, because like I was Thunder Jet. There's like a gray area there where we played with like different stuff. Where it was like, then I was like TJ. It was like TJ something.
TJ Lewis?
Yeah. And then there was like TJ something else. We played with it like a couple of times. And we were just trying to come up with something that would stick. But honestly, at the time, I was still in high school.
Yo, that's crazy story.
I was still in high school, so I didn't have confidence at all, man. Like I was still very like shy.
Oh, you fooled us that day, because we were like,
hey,
like, look at this man smiling.
That was before Gino, though. That was before Gino. Yeah.
Well, so and again, so with that, I guess like shyness, or lack of a better word, or like that timid, like, but you could hide it with the mask.
Yeah,
you would not show that fear. Though.
Yeah, and
so what is that? That's like a benefit.
Yeah, and that's what was helping me. Like that mask, I felt like I was somebody else. Like,
and that was like your like little like, you know, like transition from like Peter Parker.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man.
Yeah, and then when I went to TJ Louise and all these other gimmicks, like I was still very like uncomfortable, and like I was shy and stuff. And it took like a good couple of months for me to like be able to come up with something. And then Booker was the one that was like, hey, you're gonna be this
Latin
heartthrob pretty much. And like a lot of people asked me like, hey, where did you come up with Gino and whatnot? So Booker was a fan of Gino Hernandez,
and that's what I was. That's one of my questions. Like, where did Gino come from? Yeah. But and like the only Gino I ever known was Gino Hernandez. Yeah. Even though that's way like not my era, but again, like because of the DVDs, I kind of figured if I grew up that era, that would have been my number one dude.
Yeah, man, he was really good from what I see, and like I go back and watch a lot of his tapes sometimes. I'm like, this guy is so good, and his promos are amazing, man. But like I guess Booker had a lot of respect for him and whatnot. And I guess when we were trying to come up with a name, you know, because TJ, this, whatever, and that was not really sticking.
Yeah, no.
And it didn't really fit, you know?
Yeah. Because you wanted to keep that Thunder Jet legacy.
Yeah, but I mean, thinking about it now, I'm like, what was I doing? But
hey man, every wrestler has a first gimmick, right? They're like, hey man, why are you talking about that?
Right. But when he was trying to come up with a name, that's where he like pitched to me. He was like, what about Gino? And I was like, all right. He's like, all right, kid. You can be Gino.
You Gino.
I was like, okay, man.
Go show him what you got, bro.
Yeah, man. And it took a couple months for me to, like, you know, figure out what I wanted to do. And then that's where you met Gino with Katie Forbes, man.
Dude, that was in the Clear Lake Convention.
Yes, sir. Dude,
man. I still remember those were the good old days too.
Yeah,
those were the times that I graduated high school.
Yeah,
and like I started making adult money, so I started doing all these like Houston promotions, and then I started traveling to like Wrestle Circus and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So now I could legit sit here and say that I watch you develop, like legit. And the more you tell me your age, the more I'm just like, damn.
Yeah.
Kind of watched this man grow up.
Yeah, man. And like I told you, like before the interview started, like, yeah, of course I like was in wrestling when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But like I didn't start training until 14, right? And I'm 28 right now, bro, and it's literally half of my life now. Like half of my life I've been like
That's crazy.
bumping around and whatnot. And honestly, I'm like not tired of it or anything. Of course, I took that year off, but it was mostly like, you know, because of injuries and like mentally, I just needed a break, man. Because like,
And that's the part that makes me feel like that you love this business because of that break.
yeah.
Because like everybody needs that break. Because again, it goes back to like why we booed Hulk Hogan that one time, why we booed John Cena that one time. When we see them every day, like every single time, it gets tiresome.
No, yeah.
So we want to miss you. We want to miss you a little bit, and that's what you did because that, like every single time that me and the party girl always she showed me like your clips on Instagram or Twitter that you're over here training. And I was like, okay, this man's hustling. All right, cool. So before we go, why you left us for a year? You left me for a year. Let's talk about all these opponents that you worked with. I even had to write it down because, like, what type of list? I mean, mysterious Q, Ryan Davison, man, Keith Lee. I still remember that match.
Yeah, man.
Dude. Abel Andrew Jackson, Roxy, Brian Keith, Ricky Reyes, MVP, Rhino, Jordan Oliver, Kylie Ray. Like those are some of the like
ACH, you know,
dude, ACH.
Yeah,
yo, ACH, wherever you at, I hope you're doing well, bro.
Same here.
I miss you.
Yeah, he's so good. Sammy Guevara, bro.
Dude, Sammy Guevara, again, another guy I could legit say I watched grow like him develop. Yeah. Like if you don't remember Sammy Guevara when he came out to Justin Bieber, baby, that ain't you, baby.
I forgot about that until you
dude. I remember like the first time I saw him, it was in a triple threat match with him, Homicide, and Masada.
Oh, I heard of that one. Yeah.
and like he won and he started getting cocky and arrogant, and I guess they worked into the program that he got beat up by them. And I thought it was the most hilarious thing ever. But again, like all those people that I named, is there anybody that you had like the best chemistry with? Or maybe not even on that list. Like who did you feel like that? Like, no, that's my Joker to my Batman.
Man. So, like, I was just thinking about this the other day because I was like, man, like, I've been, like, very blessed, man, where, like, I've gotten a lot of, like, good opponents, you know? Like Christopher Daniels. Like, I wrestled Christopher Daniels once.
At Loco, right?
No, that was in Virginia. It was in Virginia.
Oh, okay. No, who was that luchador you wrestled at Loco? Like, y'all were chopping the shit out of each other.
He's really good, man. His name is Canis Lupus.
Yeah, because he's a Dragon Bane's brother.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Now he wrestles the Alpha Wolf, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yo, shout out to y'all, man. We miss you because, dude, that night, I told my friend Shinogami, I was like, that was the match of the night. I could leave now and feel satisfied.
Thank you.
Like y'all were chopping the shit out of each other. Y'all were like beating the hell out of each other to the point that we saw the ring shift.
Oh,
and I was like, yo,
hey, it was a hard hitting match, man. My chest was actually bleeding, you know.
Oh, I felt it. I felt it.
He told me, he's like, hey, nobody's shopping that hard except my brother. So thanks. And I was like, hey, man, I appreciate it. We're just all beat up, just thanking each other for beating each other up. But I would say,
what a great way to say it, hey man, thanks for that ass whooping,
right? But like back to your question, like I feel like I'll give you three, okay?
Yeah, give me three. That's a great way to say it.
Brian Keith, man.
That's another guy that I watched growing up.
Bro, yeah, and that's my boy, man. That's that guy is like, I wrestle him in flea markets.
Yeah, he was there at the flea market. Hey, it was him and Q. I think those are the only ones. I think Claudia de la Sol or something like that.
Solis. Yeah,
Solis, yes.
Yeah, there was a couple of them, but like we used to wrestle at another flea market. So we wrestled in a couple of flea markets. We wrestled in the kids' living room once.
Hey man, who needs a hot dog and a hash shake when you have a slice of cake and some milk?
Right, man. I was Thunder J. He was, you know, the cowboy Brian Key, and we wrestled everywhere, man. And like I literally have like chemistry with that guy. Like we trained a couple like last week, And we literally just had a match on the fly. Like, we just started wrestling each other. The
That's
whole
awesome.
match. And there was nobody there. Like, we just had like a 5-star match with nobody there, man.
That's like, hey man, you want to practice? All right, let's practice. Hey man, why you went so hard? Hey, man, you need to stop,
Pretty
bro.
much, man. Yeah. So he'll be like number one. And then, of course, Aiden Cristiano.
Dude,
So-
Aiden,
yeah,
definitely. I feel like he's an unsung hero.
Yeah, man, he is, and like he's so good, man. He's taught me so much, man.
Yeah.
And like it's insane how talented he is. At least to me, like I feel like, like I guess just being around him at such a young age, I like just absorbed a lot of like his knowledge,
Yeah.
And it was every weekend. Every weekend I was wrestling like all over Texas,
Dude, that's beautiful.
the Rio, Texas, or Lubbock, Texas, or
Damn.
whatever Texas. Yeah, man.
Them
was-
down the border.
yeah,
sounds.
man, Alice, Texas. It was crazy, man. It was literally all little towns in Texas. Like we wrestled there.
Yeah.
And so that would be number 2.
Yeah.
And then my third, and like I brought him up already, but like Christopher Daniels, man, I wrestled him.
That
and,
is
like,
crazy.
It was just crazy. Like we had such good chemistry, and like then we just started just like to me, like wrestling is like kind of like like if you're like a rapper or a singer or like you paint and stuff. For Christopher Daniels and I, we had the canvas and we were just playing with the canvas, or we were just flowing. We were flowing.
That's awesome.
We're flowing, just like interacting off each other and literally just giving a really good match, man. And like I go back and watch that match and I'm like, man, like this is
That was my best work. Let me
Yeah.
put that on the frame right there.
Yeah, man.
Next to
And-
my living room. Man.
Pretty much, man. Like I like to this day, like I said, that's a match that I like watching a lot. But yeah, man, those are my 3. Brian Key, Aiden Cristiano, and
Dude,
Christopher Daniels.
those are great 3 because they have different styles.
Yeah.
And different like experience as well.
Yeah.
Because I guess you could say that you and Keith like came up around the same time.
Yeah.
Then you got this one veteran who is like the unsung hero, and you got another veteran who's been on TV.
Yeah.
So you've learned from like every different style, and you had someone to do it with, like Keith. So it's just amazing how much passion, again, going back to how much passion you have for this business. And again, we truly appreciate you for showing that passion and showing the passion to the audience. Don't forget to, guys, like and subscribe, man. Follow this man's social media. I'll probably put it somewhere in this thing. So going back to TV, you went to MLW.
Yes, sir.
How was that like?
I-
Because I'm sorry to
oh no,
interrupt
go
you.
ahead. Man.
Because you were introduced by Selena De La Renta, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you see, I got good memory. They didn't even wrote that down.
I liked it a lot because I remember my first show. I went out and wrestle. Came to the back. I was like, I don't know. Sometimes I'll take a second to try to take it all in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier, like we're like everybody's so focused on that
Mhm.
end goal
Mhm.
that we don't appreciate that journey.
You actually smelled the flowers.
I tried my best to do it, man. So I did that at that time, and I literally wrestled. It was in Chicago that I debuted it.
Nice.
I wrestled. Went to the back. I sat on the floor, and I was just looking around, man. And it was literally Hammerstone,
Mhm.
Low Key, MJF.
Shout out to Loki. I miss you, bro.
right, MJF, LA Park, Fatu.
Yo, Fatu's being nasty these days, man. That's
yeah.
my travel chief right there.
Man, just like a stacked roster, man.
Mhm.
And I'm like, man, like being able to be here, like just being a part of this, like it's
Mhm.
amazing, man. Like Conan was there too, like I said,
Yeah, Conan was still there. Yeah, I still
yeah.
remember.
And like it was just crazy, like being part of that locker room. And then like at least for me, like it doesn't matter what locker room I'm in, like I'm gonna try to learn something off like anybody.
That's definitely one of our guys. Shout out to you, Mikey. You see, I follow your instructions. Anywhere in that locker room, in the MLW locker room, like what is the most important thing you learn from that locker room? Because again, I feel like your time for MLW was pretty short, if I remember correctly.
It was like 2 years. 2 years. Yeah.
I never mind.
But-
that was still a distance.
But it was during COVID. So
there you go. That's why I felt short.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
A lot of it got like cut off, and like almost a whole year. But yeah, I was around there for a while, and I got to meet like, I think like what I took out of MLW, like literally my number one thing, it was like the networking that I did there, like
Mhm.
all these people that I met, like Fatu, Like Fatu, that's my homie, man. Like, yeah, bro.
I know he has some stories.
I have some
I've been Fatu for a little bit, yo.
Hey, we were out here at 4 or 5 a.m. at that Waffle House.
Yo, Samoa's at a Waffle House.
Hey,
that's
man,
that's another story,
right? But that for me is like probably like my main thing because like I got to hang out with Fatu a lot. You know, Jordan Oliver. You know, Myron Reed. You know, all these.
I
guys,
love Myron Reed.
All these guys are so good, man. And like even like getting to like work with LA Park so much. Like being able to talk to him and ask him questions and be like, because he literally came up with my dad. So him and that's another great. Him and LA Park and my dad were they were the invasores. They were Invasor Uno, Invasor Dos.
Okay,
right?
okay.
And they were a tag team when they started off.
Okay, okay.
They started off, and then eventually they went to AAA, and then AAA gave LA Park La Parca, and then they gave my dad La Calaca. You know, and basically they were kind of like feuding against each other, right? My dad was like, the reverse La Parca, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because
that's
So like kind of like being able to talk to him and asking questions, even asking questions about my dad. You know, because like I didn't get to spend that much time with him, you know. Like the time that I did, I cherished that time, and like I was around him all the time, man. I was obsessed with my dad, man. Like I was like, this guy is a wrestler. This guy is like
you had a personal hero at home.
Man. Like I did, man. Like and I looked up to him. I still look up to him to this day, man. Like
as you should, man.
Yeah, like I just try to follow his path and try to like kind of like follow like everything that he did and whatnot. Like I don't know, I took it even as a kid, like I remember a lot and I take a lot of that, you know. Like I said, I cherish it a lot and I think about it all the time. But like being able to see La Parca there, LA Park, like I was just asking questions I would ask him random questions about my dad. Like, oh, what would my dad do? Whatever. Like, oh, he would do this. Oh, like you got any stories about my dad? You would just tell me stories about my dad. And
I think Lexus King, aka Brian Pillman Jr., that's how he connects with his dad too, because of all the guys that his dad wrestled and the guys that are still alive that tell stories about him. And it's like, wow, that's my dad.
That's another guy. That's another guy that I met at MOW.
Because that was he wasn't part of the dynasty with y'all, right?
No, he was part of the Hart Foundation.
Oh, the Hart Foundation, Teddy Hart and
him. Who else was it?
Davey Boy. Yes.
He was
sick
there.
Theme song. I'm gonna let you know right now. Love that theme song. Three Kings, awesome.
What's it called? That's something that I kind of like related to with him, and we would talk around because it was like, oh, we're both second generation, you know. And in a way, we kind of got the same like story. You know, where our dad passed away very young. You know, we were like, and then we were just like trying to make it in wrestling. You know, and of course he's already killing it now, right? Thanks to you, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
And shout out to him, man. Like I said, like you see, even somebody like him, I missed him earlier, and those people that I was naming. That's how many names there were like in that.
Yeah,
locker.
you had like the list that I pulled is just people that I knew that I saw you with.
Yeah.
And then, like, because I think you had a match with Jacob Fatu too, right?
Yeah, I had two matches.
Was it one at MLW, the other one at Gulf Coast?
One was in Corpus, you know, at GCWA, and the other one was in Dallas.
Okay. Yeah. Was it for Martinez or was it for...
No, it was for this other company called... I do not remember the name of it.
Don't worry about it. Well, I ain't gonna Google
Hey,
it.
another one. I wrestled Too Cold Scorpio too. Like,
yo, hey man, shout out that man knows how to party.
Yeah, man. He out here. I got to wrestle him and got to pick his brain and like I be forgetting these. Like sometimes like
you forget your own resume.
Facebook memories is my best friend, bro. Because I just go in there, look at it every day. I'm like, what did I do in this day? And
same thing. Like, cause again, me and Front Row Phil and all the other homies, shout out to y'all, man. We always talk about like how much stories we have, but not enough records.
Yeah,
right. I'm like, did I win with y'all at Wrestle Circus? Like, did I win with y'all there?
Hey, that's a good thing though. You know, that's like you're making a lot of memories. You know.
Yeah, because at first, like, because again, Shinigami and the Party Girl, they always on their cameras just doing this and that. And I looked at them like, bro, just enjoy it.
Right.
But now I'm actually recording because I'm like, damn, man, I don't remember nothing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so much, right? Especially in wrestling. And wrestling is like. There's so many shows.
Yeah, and I'm saying this as a fan. Imagine you as a wrestler, bro.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, I beat your ass. Oh, man, I totally forgot.
Yeah, man. And I mean, that's something that I want to do too as well. Like, I want to like keep more pictures and videos, stuff that I've done and like and whatnot, because like I'll have them randomly on Facebook, but like nothing saved on my phone. So anybody hacks my Facebook, I'm done.
All right, right.
I'm gonna lose all my memories.
If you see that like that Shawn Michaels infamous picture with the towel, and that's Gino right there. Hey man, that's Photoshop right there.
No. I'm talking about the memories, bro. The memories are gonna fade, bro.
Dude, speaking of memories, let's continue on building those memories, because next Saturday, October 12th, you're coming home.
Yes,
and
sir.
what a proper name, like the Royal Family Business. I think that's the name of it.
Rise of the wrestling royalty.
I knew it was something.
Yeah.
See, I apologize, Booker. My bad, man.
I'm gonna bring him.
So hey, bet you that.
Hey, man.
Hey, man, if Booker T gets mad at me, yo, that's a bonus. They were like, oh, he knows me. So they didn't announce your opponent, but what's your angle, man? What's going on?
So I actually did want to talk about this because so my dad used to have different names because he worked for AAA, and AAA what they do, they constantly change their gimmicks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in AAA, it's so easy to be like, hey, let's put a mask on this guy. Okay, we don't like that anymore. Let's put another mask on this guy. And you never know who the guy is.
Exactly.
You're just like, it's a guy wrestling, and you never really. And sometimes the funny thing is that sometimes they'll switch the guys without you knowing.
Yeah, because I remember a lot of stories of Lucha Underground of
doing stuff like that.
The guys that were representing Mil Muertes, like the little skeleton dudes.
Yeah,
like it was always a random guy.
Those are just extras though. Yeah. But like over there, like they'll actually switch wrestlers.
Oh, okay.
Without you knowing. But so my dad wrestled as his three biggest ones were La Calaca, and then Máscara Maligna, and then Sanguinario, of course, right? But online and on Facebook and stuff, there's a lot of people like stealing his gimmicks, like actually like doing them. Like there's like Máscara Maligna, New Generation or whatever, or like Calaca or whatever. And I'm like, okay, man, like if you can't wrestle and make your own name for yourself, all right, go for it, right?
Right.
But
out here disrespecting my daddy.
But if you suck and you're out here doing this, and I'll tell them, hey man, these guys are bums, man. They're bums.
Yo, that is a great way to say, be like, hey, if you're gonna steal my gimmick, at least be good at it.
Right? Yeah, man. I try to be very respectful towards everybody, man, especially in the wrestling business. Growing up in the wrestling business, I respect is number one, right? So but these guys, man, I got no respect for you, man. You're a bum. If you're stealing my dad's name and you're out here like not living up to the name, you're a bum. So for me, I'm like, hey, you guys are dirtying my dad's name. So you know what I gotta do? I gotta come back as like Calaca and Máscara Maligna and literally bring these characters back to life and like literally put them up, up here where they belong. And like actually,
as you should,
when you Google La Calaca or Máscara Maligna or Sanguinario, I want my name to pop up and I want to have, hey, Gino, aka La Calaca versus Christopher Daniels, like something that actually has substance behind it. Instead of these guys out here just playing with the name and like trying to be like him,
Damn.
So that's like one of my main like things, or what like it bothered me a little bit. I'm like, man, you guys are doing, and it's not just one or two or three, it's like a couple of them now. And they just steal the gimmicks, and I'm like, hey, go for it, but like I said, don't suck,
That is the best part. I'm gonna name this episode, hey man, steal my gimmick but don't suck.
Right? Yeah, man. And that's literally like why I kind of came up with this whole thought process of like, hey, how can I like find a way to do my dad's gimmicks but still being Gino? And to me, it was like, hey man, like I'm literally bringing these characters back to life. So if you go see my vignettes and my videos and whatnot that I've been putting out, man, like I'm literally trying to give that vibe. Like, hey, I'm bringing these characters back to life. Like I'm literally resurrecting like Calaca, in me, and I'm portraying that character in a way that's like a little bit different, and it's gonna be different to like the I guess the American audience, because they're not used to seeing like a person that comes in with a mask and takes it off. Then like of course we see it with the Fiend, but the Fiend will like
oh yes
yeah, he'll wrestle Bray Wyatt used to wrestle like as that, and then
you had like Rey Mysterio that had his regular mask and then the over mask.
Yeah, but for me, like I'm gonna be coming out with these masks, man, and I'm gonna be representing my dad, man, and representing lucha culture. Because like another thing though was like I went to Monterrey a couple months ago, and I was just very like touched and like I was inspired about how much they like see lucha libre over there. I'm gonna knock your mic off.
It's not mine.
I was inspired by all these there's like masks everywhere, man. And
Oh,
like, the
yeah.
culture, and then just hearing like murals of
That's one
stores.
of my bucket lists is to go to Mexico and just experience the lucha culture.
It's very cool, man. And like they like I forgot where I heard it last time, but like Mexicans and death, bro, we love death for some reason. Like we
Oh
just,
yeah,
like,
no,
I don't know.
no.
Like,
Last year I did at my job I did like Dia de los Muertos like face paint. Like I
Yeah.
legit did that.
Oh,
and
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
and then I scared like my kids and they're like, I know it's you, but like why you did this?
yeah, we
And I'm
love
just
death, bro.
and for some odd reason like I just love the sugar mask
Yeah,
skulls. Like
yeah.
this is like the coolest thing. Again, we don't know why, but at the end of the day, it is part of that culture of like we respect, you know, our ancestors.
Yeah.
You know, because we do celebrate Dia de los Muertos not just for Halloween, but like a whole weekend.
Yeah, man. At least for me, like I'm always putting up, you know, my dad's picture, you know, with like his like favorite food, you know, his favorite drink and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I just have it out there, bro, and I'll pray to him and whatnot. So it's like it's something that like literally comes from me, you know, it's something that I practice, you know, celebrating Dia de los Muertos and whatnot. So when I went to Monterrey, like I saw a lot of the mask, then I saw a lot of the Dia de los Muertos stuff and whatnot, and I was just like inspired, and it just got me thinking. I was like, man,
Got the juices flowing.
yeah, man, and then like I said, I was trying to find a way to bring these characters like to like a higher pedestal.
Oh,
You know
for
what I mean?
sure.
So I'm
Especially when you got bums.
yeah, man.
Come on, you bums.
So yeah, man, that's literally where it came from, man.
Dude, I'm legit excited, especially with your new gimmicks, because I'm like, it's been so long that we haven't seen you, and you mentioned it before. It was definitely a knee injury, and you needed that time off for your mental health and all that. So
yeah, and honestly, it's that.
The DX question: are you ready?
Yeah, of course, man. And like, at least for me, like I took that whole year off, a year and a half, I believe, and I just kind of like. I just set on a lot of ideas on what I wanted to do, you know, like, just ideas everywhere, honestly. And like, if I'm being honest with you, like, you know, inside scoop, like, I almost didn't come back, you know. I almost didn't. Like, I was like, man, maybe like, you know, like maybe this was like I told you, this half of my life wrestling. I was like, maybe I shouldn't like.
So you were ready to check out?
Yeah, man. Like my back was like beat up. Like I said, I was sitting in cars, my back would go numb. You know, my knee was like killing me. And like I almost like was out, but that met CM Punk, met CM Punk in person. Yeah, I met him in person.
Story right there.
And like, man, like I'm meeting him and like getting to talk to him, I was like, damn, like if this is not like. If wrestling, well, like what I'm trying to say is like if wrestling is not the path that I'm supposed to be in, like this wouldn't be happening right now.
Gotcha.
CM Punk wouldn't be talking to me right now.
And you did mention before that one of your inspirations is Punk.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like I was like
again, we just mentioned it earlier. Like that's destiny knocking at your door, bro.
Yeah, man. Like I feel like my whole life's been that. You know, just little like signs here and there where it's like, okay, I'm on the right path. But CM Punk literally told me like I was like, hey man, I'm on the break right now. Like I didn't. Like right now, I'm like kind of in between going back and not. He's like, take a break. He's like,
and that's a guy that actually legit appreciated his break.
Yeah, he told me I took a break. Look at me now. I'm like, yeah, man. Like
that's all you needed.
Yeah, man. And he inspired me like to like literally want to come back, and then getting to train with him after. I got to train with him, and
I need videos,
bro. Like, there's a video on my Instagram, you know, of me training with him, and like I said, like if this was the path that I was supposed to be on. I'm like, there's no bigger sign than actually getting to train with CM Punk and one of my idols, you know, like getting to train with him. I'm like, this is insane. Like literally, like being in the ring and like tying up with CM Punk. I was like, man, I could retire right now.
Dude, that's it.
But for me, like I'm so hungry with wrestling and I like want so much that I'm like, okay, if I can train with CM Punk, I can have a match with CM Punk one day. Yeah.
Especially at reality wrestling because he's bringing out talent from NXT.
Hey man, we're not thinking that low. We got.
Oh, you thinking about Mania?
Hey man, I'll go up there, bro. Yeah. Not saying reality wrestling low, but like
no. I get what you mean. Yeah, but you know, I just wanted cheaper seats. So.
Hey man.
Mania, stop being expensive.
Hey, I'll take him on Mania wherever, man. Like, hey, even on reality wrestling, let's do it. But yeah, man, like that's like one of my goals. Definitely working. It was either Edge, because for me, my top five, top five
go
favorite
ahead.
wrestlers, bro. Eddie Guerrero,
Damn.
Edge, Shawn
Nice.
Michaels, CM Punk, and Kurt Angle.
Wow.
Yeah,
2 of them are possible.
yeah, man, yeah.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
that's quite a list, man. Oh man, we could continue on and on, but I have to do my fun questions.
Okay,
Because
go
I have
ahead.
fun questions. Because this segment is called This or That. So basically, like drinks champagne. Shout out to Nori. You know, we're gonna do this or that. Luckily, we got water, so if Gino doesn't want to answer, he'll just take a sip of water. All right, let's do this or that. Hispanic Heritage Edition.
Okay.
So it's all Latino questions. So guys, if you don't understand, just Google it, okay? All right, we'll start simple. Eddie Guerrero or Rey Mysterio?
Eddie Guerrero.
Easy. All right, so continue on with those two. Rey Mysterio's theme song, the Booyaka 619 reggaeton version or the
Okay.
POD version?
Oh man, I think I like the POD version.
I'm more the reggaeton.
yeah, yeah, okay, okay.
With Mad One. All right, continue on. Latino Heat or Alaya Cheetah Steel?
Latino Heat. Because I'll randomly play that in my head. Really.
Latino Heat.
Yeah.
Maquiano aquí. All right, AAA or CMML?
CMLL. CMLL, honestly, because
Because
like,
you're an old school. So.
yeah, and I love that old school lucha libre style. You know.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's just like I don't know. It's very fun to watch.
Dude, that's amazing. Los Ingobernables or Perros de Mal?
Perros del Mal, honestly. but because I was a big like Perro Aguayo fan, you know,
Dude.
Perro Aguayo, like
R.I.P. man.
he was an OG, bro. So yeah, like just that era, they like made a lot of noise. Hey, Booker
Dude.
T was part of Perros del Mal.
I always forget that because he does. I did see a picture of you two together, and he was wearing a shirt.
Yeah,
And I was just like, "Yo, what universe am I living?"
right. Yeah, I guess that's when he like left WWE and like yeah.
What's up, dogs?
Right.
All right, Lucha Underground or MLW Azteca?
Lucha Underground, of course.
Dude, that was an era at itself.
Yeah, man, and so good. It was like so underrated, man. That was
Underrated, and the talent pool that they had,
yeah,
and then the production value that they
yeah,
brought.
man. It was really fun to watch. You know?
Dude, so fun. Speaking of watching, Dragon Ball Z or Los Simpsons?
You know, I have to go with that Dragon Ball Z, bro. Man, people don't know like how much Dragon Ball Z is like literally.
That's why shout out to you, Shinigami, because I was just like, hey man, other than Dragon Ball Z, what else is popping in Mexico? And he's like, Los Simpsons. I'm like, all right, there you go.
Hey man, what Akira
Homero.
Toriyama, what Akira Toriyama did, bro. I feel like he like it's not just a cartoon to me. Like you know, I
It's
feel
religion.
Like, yeah, well, it's just like it teaches you a lot of stuff. You know, it
Yeah.
teaches how to like constantly push yourself.
Exactly.
And like this and this and that, and like it's not just transformations, literally like actually like overcoming stuff and whatnot.
Like it's so powerful. Like I don't even know if the story is true, but even stopped the cartel one day to honor the man's that creative Dragon Ball Z death. I'm like, I don't know if it's true or not, but I want to believe it. So
Right.
All right, so continue on with TV shows, movies. Encanto or Coco?
Neither.
You gotta watch both, man.
I'm not a fan, but either one. Of them.
What?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy. That's all right. I would have chosen Tarzan. All right, La Bamba or Selena?
Selena, of course.
Ah, Richie!
I never watched that movie.
You never watched La
Nah,
Bamba?
no.
Yo, that's gonna be our watch along. That's gonna be one of our episodes. I'm gonna make this man watch La Bamba at the rooftop in Houston.
Hey, I'm down, bro.
All right, Romeo Santos or Prince Royce?
Roma Santos, of course. Yeah.
Wow, man, you know, bachatea, mi mamá. Bachata or
Bad Bunny.
salsa?
Bachata. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was gonna be my other one. Bad Bunny or Daddy Yankee?
Okay. Yeah. I like Bad Bunny. At first, like I started hearing them a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay, this guy's not bad. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this song's pretty good.
You know what really got to me? Because like I thought he was just gonna be like one of those trap artists, like, you know, just like
Yeah.
whatever. But then when he gave a shout out to Eddie Guerrero at the
That's the first
Cardi
time.
B,
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
That
you know
was
what? I should listen to his music.
That was my first time too hearing them. I was like, oh man.
Guerrero como Eddie que viva la raza. Yeah. All right. So going to salsa verde or salsa rojo? This is how you can tell what type of man he is.
I'm gonna go with man. It's because I like both of them, and I can make both of them. I make salsa roja.
Rojo? Verde. Dude. Like, it all depends on, like, who makes it.
Yeah.
Because that's where, like, either you got to do, oh, man, this tastes pretty good, or you go, all right.
Hey, man.
All right. Hey.
Hey, I make a killer one. I'm gonna bring some next time. I'm gonna bring me some salsa roja, salsa verde, man.
Dude, we'll do that with the chip challenge.
Got you.
All right. This is a triple threat because I couldn't decide which one.
Okay.
Salsa, queso, or guacamole?
I feel like salsa. I'm gonna go with salsa. I feel like queso and like guacamole. I feel like it's been too Americanized now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah. I always say like if my Mexican dish is not made by a tia with the mole in the face, I ain't gonna eat it.
If you're eating a taco and have shredded cheese and like lettuce and stuff,
Yeah.
those are tacos, man. Yeah, I have that.
Speaking of tacos, this is another triple threat: al pastor, carne asada, or barbacoa.
I'm gonna go with al pastor.
Ooh, nice.
But it's funny. But it's funny because there's a quote out there of me, right?
Word.
Where I go, I'm Mexican. Because I like tripas. I like tripa tacos.
Oh my god.
Tripa tacos
Yeah.
are so good, bro.
I had lengua
Crunchy.
once, and I was just like, I don't know how to feel about it, but I'm gonna finish it up. I remember I dated this like hardcore Mexican girl, and she invited me to dinner, and like we were having goat tacos, and I was like, all right, cool.
Okay.
The goat was on the table, and I'm like, okay, so how are we gonna get the meat? Just scrape it off of the cheeks. Cool. I'm about to put my 2 weeks in. All right, baby. Hey, man, you got a fat.
Man, it's so good though.
It was so good, so soft.
Borrego, yeah.
Dude, so soft. And to wash it down, Mexican cola or Jarritos?
A Corona.
Hey, you know what? I'll take a shot on that one because
I'll take one too.
that was a
water.
good one.
It's actually vodka.
Yeah, this ain't water. Dude, with that being said, man, thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
For joining
Appreciate
us.
you.
My hand's wet, but
Good, man.
I can't wait for your return.
Yeah, you gonna be there?
Oh man, I actually triple booked myself.
Okay.
Like I'll tell you one reason, and then we have AEW, and then we have that one, reality wrestling, and then I got invited to a Comic-Con convention to do media there. Yeah. So I'm just like, so much.
Too many choices.
Yeah, too many choices, which was cheaper.
Right.
But again, man, I can't wait to see you again, man. Even if it's not reality wrestling, just anywhere. And I'm so excited for you.
Thank
man.
you, bro. I appreciate it. Hey, well, let me do this real quick. Shout out to you though, because like how I told you, I didn't know if I was gonna come back or not. But like people like you that are like support me and have supported me since this little boy. I like people supporting me like that, bro. That's what like drove me to like want to come back and want to like still pursue this and like know that there's people out there that actually like at least for us, like as wrestlers, we get lost in we forget that like people actually like watching us.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like we're just thinking like, oh, I want to like do this and do that and like wrestle over here and like have this match. That we forget like this is like actually not for us. This is for like the fans that are actually paying tickets and like are coming to watch you wrestle. You know, we get so invested in our journey that we don't think about like, oh, like there's people that are actually supporting us and like, are here to actually come watch us wrestle. You know, we're entertainment for you guys. You know? Dude,
I appreciate you, man. I'm still waiting for an updated Gino because this all I got from the man. I gotta get I will pay full price too. Bro. So with that being said, I mean, is there any final messages, any social media plugs? I mean, we only have one, which is the reality of wrestling, but is there anything else coming up with you?
At the moment, I just got the reality wrestling going on. I'm slowly gonna like get back into it, you know, like I just gotta feel out my body, you know, see how it feels. But yeah, I got reality wrestling coming up, and then I got another one in Laredo.
Nice.
And then I got another one in Corpus.
Ooh,
coming up.
going back to the Silent Brothers.
Yeah, I love Corpus, man. Shout out to Corpus, man, because Corpus is like literally like my second home, man. Like
I've been to Corpus one time, and I feel like it's been a long overdue.
yeah,
so
man. I just love the crowd there, man. For some reason, they love me, and I
Yeah.
just love them back, bro.
Dude,
Like,
that's real love
like,
right there.
like I feel like Selena in
Hey,
Corpus, bro.
I'm gonna put Gino on the wall, and I'm gonna say this bubble came from Gino. If y'all get it, y'all get it. Thank you. So, I mean, with that being said, please don't forget to like, subscribe the Big Propaganda Wrestling Podcast and Kung Fu Eddy, baby. With that being said, thank you for talking for
brother.
Kung Fu Eddy, baby, and we're out.